True Crime. This came out at a time when open world was a trend in early 2000 for the PlayStation 2, and thus this game became a clone of GTA. Well, that's what people call it, by implementing open world elements and gameplay similar to GTA. Just like The Getaway, this game was trying to immerse you with the realism by recreating most part of Los Santos, Los Angeles, by including Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, and Hollywood, with most of the streets' name, landmark, stores, and highway was made with enough accuracy. True Crime genre is an open world action adventure game that came out in November 4th, 2003 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox and GameCube for the North America, and November 7th for Europe. PC Power was released in May 14th and 20th of 2004 for North America and Europe respectively, and mobile in 21st of November 2004 for North America, and finally Mac OS that came out 1st of March 2005 also for North America. Since this game came out on multiple platforms, it had a couple of developers like Luxoflux for the consoles, LTI Grey for the PC and Aspyr for Mac OS, as well as publishers like Activision for all except for Mac OS, which was Aspyr. And when you look at the development of this game, the voice actors are stacked with celebrities like Christopher Walken, Gary Oldman, Ron Perlman, Michelle Rodriguez, and Michael Madsen, and had a license deal with Puma, the clothing company. They said that Snoop Dogg was unlockable in this game with his own mission and car, but I can't comment on that. In October 2nd, 2 weeks before the release of the game, Activision and Luxoflux were hit with a lawsuit by Robert Craze, a novelist, claiming that the protagonist of True Crime was very similar to Elvis Cole of the novels that he created. But later on it was dropped as it was just a misunderstanding, and Robert deemed it was a work of inspiration and fandom. The game had mixed to positive reviews about it. The common one were graphical and technical problems, unlikable protagonist, and poorly implemented gameplay. However, on the other side, many praise it for its ambition to differentiate itself from GTA, with stuff I talk about in the story portion. And with that said, I just want to play the game now. The game starts with Nick kicking the poor logo of Luxoflux. I miss when the game interacted with the company brands and logos. But then you get to name your license plate. I chose mine as AnimersiveXP. Not much you can fit on there, and it shows on your personal cars. The story is episodic, as I try to explain the narratives of the plot and missions in between, so forgive me if I sound a bit repetitive or just all over the place. The game starts with a narration by George the Death Sergeant, who is voiced by Christopher Walken, as the first mission of episode 1 is to teach you how to shoot at the shooting range. When that is over, you get introduced to Chief Wanda as she recruits Nick, a suspended police officer, into Elite Operation Division for the LAPD, EOD for short, as bombing are happening in Chinatown and no one is touching the case, as she believes that Nick can handle it. Nick believes that the triads are behind it. Then in mission 2, Nick has to get to the police station in 2 minutes before the chief does. Few crashes later and we arrive as Wanda partners Nick with Rosie, who is voiced by Michelle Rodriguez, but Nick and Rosie object to the idea but have no choice in the matter. Third mission, Nick drives at the restaurant, not sure if you're supposed to drive with your partner, but whatever. Fourth mission, you learn more about Rosie as she was an ex-gang member turned cop. A commotion happens as a triad member harasses the owner for protection money. Nick grabs a large chopstick and throws it at his ear, and now fist fight happens. Funny enough, the guy still has the chopsticks in his ear. Mission 5, the triad escapes as Rosie is tired of the bullshit and is held hostage by the same guy, but as she tried to escape from his clutches, she accidentally gets shot in the arm and the triad run to the getaway car, but Nick shoots at the car and the driver is spooked. He drives away and leaves him behind, as now we need to chase after him and kill him. First episodes isn't that bad, as they teach you the mechanic of the game and gets you used to them. Episode 2 of Mission 1, Rosie has now been stuck with a desk job after getting shot. The wound wasn't fatal, and I swear I killed him. The chief put out an APB on the BMW that the driver called Feng was driving. Nick then drives to the dojo, and mission 2, Nick asks if anyone is home, but we get attacked by a mysterious attacker who happens to be Nick's younger brother Kerry, and the two have a sparring match. Mission 3, the chief calls as the BMW has been spotted at the Red Lantern bar, as Nick has to rush there in a minute. Mission 4, we find the driver attacking the barkeep as he pulls out a knife to attack Nick and a brawl ensues. Mission 5, Nick knocks out Feng and tries to free the barkeep, but Feng gets up and escapes, as Nick chases him on foot and by vehicle, and we kill him. Mission 6, Nick finds out that Feng worked for Jimmy Fu, a small-time criminal, as Nick has to drive to his warehouse. Mission 7, Nick enters the warehouse but have to sneak his way around the guards. Mission 8, as Nick moves further to the warehouse, he gets ambushed by Jimmy's crew as Nick got to kill them. Mission 9, now that Jimmy's all alone, he tells Nick that he was ordered to play rough as something big is going down. Nick sees a laser from Jimmy's chest and saves him from assassination by a sniper, as Nick got to shoot him down from afar. So far I'm enjoying the story. Episode 1 and 2 are pretty solid. Episode 3 of Mission 1 Nick interrogates Jimmy at the police station and learns that Jimmy was working with Big Chong, an enforcer of Ancient Wu Triad, which everyone thinks is a legend and doesn't exist. Nick then drives to the location that Jimmy provided. Mission 2. At the precinct, George tells Rosie about Nick's background as she's not pleased of having him as her partner, where George explains that Nick's mother died as a kid and then his dad Henry Wilson was involved in a drug trafficking scandal in which he disappeared, and internal affairs claimed that he skipped town, but George doesn't believe in that crap. Meanwhile, Nick tails Chong's limo to the destination. Mission 3. Nick sees Chong deliver a large amount of money and going inside Cypress building, but then Nick got to lose the thugs that are shooting at him. At first I thought it was difficult, but just goes through this alleyway and they get confused and won't follow for some reason. Mission 4. Nick learns that Cypress is a financial holding company linked with the Russian mob and that Chong limo was spotted at the spa thanks to Rosie intel. Mission 5 is a stealth infiltration. Mission 6. Nick enters the bathroom and is caught by the Russian as we got to fight a couple of them, and then a martial law appears that came out of the toilet. I guess he didn't hear that commotion that was happening. Mission 7. Nick observes Chong and the Russian Rocky conversation as Rocky complains that Chong isn't laundering money fast enough. Then Chong tells Rocky that Ancient Wu is unhappy about the situation, but Rocky tells Chong that the general is in town looking for the money and it's bad news for both of them. Nick then confronts both of them as Rocky dives into the pool and stays there forever, and then we gotta kill all the Russian, and when we do, Chong appears at the end and then we kill him as well. Now here's where the story picks up, as now it's not a small deal with only the triads, but the Russians are involved, and we hear about the general which both of them are scared of, so that's a good foreshadowing. Episode 4, Mission 1. Wanda introduced Nick to an FBI agent called Masterson. He had the spy under surveillance in effort to build a case, but Nick messed up as Rocky escaped, somehow. But then Nick's got a lead as we have to find the arms dealer and drive to the auto shop. Mission 2. Wanda and Rosie discuss more of Nick's background as when their dad disappeared, Nick and his brother Kerry moved to Hong Kong to live with their mother's relative. They changed their last name to Kang, but being half-blood, they were hassled all the time as they eventually came back to LA as Nick became a police officer like his dad. Nick interrogated the mechanic called Francis but is intercepted by bikers and fight a wave of them. Mission 3. Nick chases after Francis in a car and blows it all to hell. Mission 4. Francis tells Nick to check out a club in Hollywood called the Gulag, so Nick drives there to check it out. Mission 5. Nick sees a Hollywood detective leave the club, but since it's heavily guarded, Nick decides to take the back alley and stealthily enter the back of the club. Mission 6. Nick enters the building, but is easily recognized by the Russian and a shootout ensues as we got to kill the bouncers. Mission 7. Nick meets Rocky in his office as Rocky tells him that the money that the triads are laundering are counterfeit and warns him if he doesn't back off, Kerry will be killed. Nick then races to the dojo within 3 minutes. Mission 8. Nick arrives at the dojo, but Kerry isn't there. Instead, we see vandalizers robbing the place. As Nick is furious, we beat him to a pulp. Okay, good. We now have some stake as Nick's brother Kerry is involved, but this episode was a slow burner. I mean, not much happens here other than we learned that the money is counterfeit. Episode 5 of Mission 1. Nick tails the cop that was at the club. Mission 2. The cops stop at a run-down house that is crawling with homeless bums as Nick's gotta fight them. And the last one, watch out for her or him, it's a tough fight. Mission 3. We leave the cop but he leaves a ticket with a message to meet him in a diner, so Nick drives to the diner. Mission 4. Nick meets with a cop called Don Rafferty and was a friend of Henry's, and wait a minute, don't I know you from somewhere?
Too late for that, comrade.
Well, just hold on to your towels, okay?
Wow. All white men do look alike, huh? He warns Nick that the case is too much for him to handle, but he tells Nick that Kerry's in a Chinatown at the butcher shop, and we gotta get there within 2+ minutes. Mission 5. Nick chops this poor man's pee-pee as a brawl ensues as Nick gotta fight the triad butchers. I guess in order to join the most notorious gang in China, you need more than one occupation. Mission 6. Nick done beat them up as he entered the slaughterhouse at the back. Vegans beware, what you're about to see isn't for the faint of heart. Nick hears Kerry screaming for help as we got to kill the butchers. What goes around comes around, I guess. Mission 7. Nick finds Kerry and escape while losing the triad that are on your tail. Again a slow one. I did like the last 3 missions, I mean it was fun. Episode 6, Mission 1. Masterson argues with Nick and Wanda about the counterfeit money and Rocky's escape, but Nick has the idea to find Ancient Wu, but Masterson says that is a myth, so Nick drives to the Chinese restaurant. Mission 2. Nick sneaks around and enters the kitchen. Mission 3. Nick fights the butcher, but a weird man that looks like a zombie appears. He's immune to attack and only get hurt via fire, so he got to send him near the cooker to get burnt. Mission 4. Nick enters a basement that is a secret underground tunnels as he got to kill supernatural beings like zombies and vampires, I think. But man, is this place dark. At least bring a flashlight. Mission 5. Nick enters the arena straight out of Mortal Kombat and find Wu as he is 342 years old. Jesus, you're older than... Jesus, what's your secret? He makes Nick undergo a series of challenges. First is a fight a fire demon. They move in a predictable pattern so it's easy to kill them, but man is this fight boring. You fight 3 waves of them. First wave you kill 3 demons, second wave you kill 4, and lastly you kill 5, and then you fight the ultimate demon. This fight almost put me to sleep, is that boring. Mission 6, Wu and Nick talk about loyalty bullshit as he takes away our guns and have to fight his concubines 2-on-1. And this is a hard one as when you fight them, they teleport away when you try to stun them for a decent attack. And we fall out of the arena. Good. Well, that failed. I was trying to lure her into the lava pit. Mission 7, Nick finally beats the concubine as Wu explains that 20 years ago, KGB sent their top agents to LA, but soon lost his loyalty to Mother Russia and turned to a life of crime. Nick's final test is that Wu summons a dragon that we got to kill. Again, this fight is boring. I was literally brain dead fighting this boss. The gunplay was a joke as he would often shoot the barricades rather than the dragon, and when I aim at the dragon, he wouldn't shoot. I didn't like this episode at all. He had a cool concept in mind like zombies and mystical beings, but in reality the gameplay just falls flat on his face. Mission 7, Episode 1. Nick learns that the agent was Rasputin Kuznetsov, or Rocky for short, went AWOL in the 70s, so Ancient Wu was telling the truth. Masterson thinks that Nick's gone crazy, so he fires him, and on that note, Nick drives to a bar. Mission 2, Nick confronts Don with his involvement with Rocky and his father, but the barkeep has a problem with Nick as he's not good customer service, beating someone up. I agree, let's have a fight about it. And my god, did he forget to pay the electricity bill? Can't see a damn thing. Mission 3, Nick overheard Don calling Rocky about him being a problem and has to meet with Rocky, so Nick tails him to his destination. Mission 4, we see Don enter some girl's car and, wait, I know you as well.
Those kids. I hear he's a hell of a cop, but will he?
Wow, the world really is that small. But right when we're about to tail him, Masterson issues an arrest warrant, but we're not having any of that as Nick killed this poor soul trying to do his job, and now we got to lose the police tail. Mission 5, Nick scare hot dog and see Don driving. Coincident as that may be, we tail him again. Mission 6, Nick enters a warehouse that Don is in and that we got to sneak our way through. Mission 7, Nick hears that Rocky wants Don to kill him, but Don doesn't want any of that as he didn't want Henry or his son to be killed. Furious, Nick bursts out and kills everyone in sight, but Rocky and Don escape. Okay, in this episode the story picks up even more as we learn about Nick's father and Rocky's involvement. It's really interesting. Episode 8, Mission 1. Nick interrogates Rocky henchman at the warehouse as to where he might be, but he points at his girlfriend, and with that we tail her to the diner. Mission 2. Rocky's girlfriend is tired of the abuse and tells him that he's at the Gulag's club, but she has an evil smile at the end, so it's got to be a trap. But you got to get to the club in 4 minutes. Mission 3. Nick enters the club and, of course, it's a trap, as we got to fight his goons. Oh look, a Puma outfit. Mission 4. Nick gets info from Rocky goons that he's at airport. Luckily it's not time based as it's very far away. Mission 5. Nick is ambushed by Rocky's girlfriend and is captured as Rocky explains the situation in the 1970s when he and Don were smuggling cocaine into LA. Henry found out, so Rocky tried to pay him off. Henry refused and was shot dead, and his body was dumped into the ocean. But Rocky and Don planted evidence to make Henry look like a dirty cop. Wu helps Nick by magically unlock the handcuff, which I call bullshit. Rocky shoots at Nick, but Don runs in between taking the bullet. Lol. You did. But then commandos storm in the place as he got to survive the onslaught of enemies. Mission 6, Nick chases after Rocky's jet and have to shoot it down. Well, that took forever to take off. Mission 7, Rocky burns at the crash site and we're interrupted by the General Han Yu Kim of the North Korea Army, the ultimate mastermind behind the counterfeit and laundering scams. He explains that Rocky was going to keep the money for himself, betraying him. Kim plans to use that money for his army, but Nick stands in his way as we have the two fight. And my god, this boss fight is so cheap. He keeps blocking my attacks. If you lose the fight, Kim escapes before the police arrive and Nick gets arrested, but if you win, Kim is defeated and we get congratulated on our effort as now Nick is finally able to put the disappearance of his father behind him. Well, the story was okay. When it doesn't focus on the Russians, it gets kinda stale, but that isn't the end as this game has 3 endings. The one we achieved was the best ending and there's 2 more which are the bad ending and average ending, so let's look at those. Bad ending, episode 4, mission 1. After Rocky escapes, Rosie discovered that there's been 4 recent bank robberies targeting Cyprus deposit boxes, all carried out by 2 women, as one of them was ID'd, called Gypsy, a stripper, so Nick drives to the strip club. Mission 2, Nick gets lap danced by Gypsy as he catches her at her own game, now that Nick got to fight the strippers. And hey, I'm all for gentle quality, so let's go. Mission 3. She tells Nick that she was a driver for Lola, a failed TV star. She's supposed to meet her, but Nick goes in a place. Mission 4. Nick meets with Lola at the nightclub and tells her that we're her new driver as Gypsy couldn't make it, so Nick is given a test drive as we got to arrive at a destination in 1.5 minutes. Mission 5. Nick did a good job, but the police is on our tail as we got to lose them. Mission 6. Nick tells Rosie that the Russian was supposed to give the money to the general but got greedy and kept it, and Lola was hired by the general to get it all back. She overheard the conversation as Nick has a little fight. Mission 7. Nick arrests Lola, but she got assassinated by the sniper as Nick got to take him out across the building. Episode 5. Mission 1. Rosie giving Nick a lead to the airport as Cypress Holding owns a jet leasing company there. So with that info, Nick drives to the airport. Mission 2. Nick arrives at the airport, but Rocky and his crew are all dead by the commandos under the general command, but they escape in a truck as Nick got to stop them from getting away. Mission 3. Nick stops the assassins, but Rosie calls that there's a hostage situation in downtown as Nick got to get there in 2 minutes. Mission 4. The general and his team has taken over the bank that have all of Cypress Holding deposit, and the general demands $500 million, so we enter the building if we can. There's a shit ton of them outside to get through. Mission 5. Finally made it inside the building and into the lobby as more commandos here to kill. Mission 6. We cleared the lobby and entered the elevator and find our way throughout the VIP office, but damn, there's a lot of hostages. I can't be bothered saving them, so I just shoot right through them. Mission 7. Nick finally meets with the general in the VIP office. Kim explained the same thing as the last mission of the best ending, but he wants his money back and Nick can't deliver, so they have a fight. Wish me luck here, guys. I'm gonna need it.
You got nothing.
Well, that was easy. When Nick beats him, Kim falls to his death before providing any information as Nick tells Masterson that there are more to this, and if he fails, Kim throws Nick off the building and escapes via helicopter. And that was a bad ending. I enjoyed this little story, especially the last couple of missions, as they were just gun blazing and killing everything in your path, pretty much Rambo style. So let's look at the average ending then. Episode 6, Mission 1. Nick fails to save his brother Kerry and sets out for revenge as he races to the Gulag Club in a minute. Mission 2. Nick arrives at the club, but soon as he opens the door, Rocky escapes in a limo as he got to chase and stop him. Mission 3. Nick stops the limo and drags Rocky out, but his bodyguard Misha, voiced by Ron Perlman, stops us as he got to fight his Puma advertisement ass. Mission 4. Rocky escapes, but Misha tells Nick that he's gone to see Ancient Wu at the restaurant as Nick drives to the destination. Mission 5. Nick enters the restaurant, but the waitress says for reservation only. Okay, Nick wrecks the place and kills everyone we see. Mission 6. Wu tells Nick that he had nothing to do with Kerry's death and it was an accident, and tells Nick that Rocky has gone to the airport. Mission 7. Nick arrives and steals the armor's truck full of money as they got to lose them or shoot their car so they can't follow. Episode 8, Mission 1. Nick interrogated Don as Rocky calls his phone and wants Nick to give his money back in exchange for information about his father, so Nick got 1 minute to get to Rocky's special club. Mission 2. We arrive to an S&M club and sneak our way through. It's a shame that I can't see anything. Mission 3. We see Rocky eating sushi off of a woman and then runs away when he sees Nick, and we got to deal with the S&M freak. Mission 4. Rosie is captured as Rocky demands that we bring the money to Chinatown in exchange for her, so Nick gets the truck from the impound lot. Mission 5. Nick gets the truck and loses the tail of the FBI and Masterson, or you can destroy the car. Mission 6. Nick arrives to Chinatown with the truck but is ambushed by the commando as Rosie escapes, and we got to kill every single one of them and these two Russians. Also, why is Rocky slowly going in circles with the truck? Mission 7. Nick briefly sees the general as now we got to fight Rocky in a brawl. The ending is that Nick beats Rocky, but he stabs Nick as Rosie saves him by shooting and killing Rocky, but Nick couldn't get the information about his dad, and if he fails, Rocky escapes the place. And that's the entirety of the story. It's alright. Nick for me is just too Hollywood. What I mean by that is he breaks the rules, doesn't follow them, and he does everything his way, and that in of itself can get annoying, because with certain characters you can be charming about that type of stuff, but with Nick he just comes like a complete dickhead and an idiot, especially his one-liners. that he says every time you complete the mission. And some missions have alternate paths. I'm just going to talk about 2 because talking about all of them isn't necessary or impacts the story at all. It starts with episode 2 mission 4. Before, you had to fight the triad with a chopstick in his ear, but in this one you chase after Feng the driver as he burned the place down. Episode 3 mission 5. Instead of infiltrating the spa, you wake up in a shower and have to fight the Russians. Man, the gameplay was all over the place, with shooting and brawling as picking up weapons during fight or shooting was a nightmare, as you got to do this by pressing a circle button, and sometimes it takes a long time to register the input as you stand there exposed to gunfire and attacks. And hand-to-hand combat is that you have to hit him a certain amount of time before getting stunned for a big attack. You see this with the exclamation mark, but this system can get cheap as enemy can block your attack and then you have to go back and forth with punches and low kicks, and they can regen the hits, so it's going to take a long time to beat them. The driving in this game is alright, but it's flawed, as when you drive a fast car and going off the ramp or bumpy road, your car does every flip imaginable. And I tried turning my car with another vehicle and this happened.
The speed. Investigate immediately.
I didn't like the road being all grid-like, but that's just me. I prefer wacky road maps. You can enter 24/7 across LA to upgrade your character driving by learning new tricks, shooting at the shooting range, and learning new movesets at the dojo. But you need to use your badge. To earn these, you need to be a good cop, and if you fail the course, you have to use another badge. And when you finish the episode, you get a bonus mission of where you can get a new car by participating in a street race, or going through a shooting course, and at the end you get a new powerful pistol with unlimited ammo, and enter the dojo where you fight student and master to get new moves to use when you stunning opponents. The stealth section for me is fun, as you got a choice to either kill him for a bad cop with square button or make him go to sleep with a chop with circle. And in here you get to see the character model, and damn, their shoulders are huge. Out in the open world, you can solve random crime on the streets and can stop criminals by fighting them or shooting them in a non-lethal way by using precision targeting and waiting for the reticle to go green. And make sure to be a good cop, as if you create mayhem on the street, SWAT team will come after you, so don't think you're immune to the law. The music is top notch, as it's inspired by hip hop with artists like Snoop Dogg, DOC, Ice-T and a few others, and in missions you get your rock and metal music, so don't worry about that. And that's my review of True Crime Streets of LA. How was this game? Honestly, if I have a choice between this, GTA or any open world game, I'll choose them. This game is a good beginner for the franchise of True Crime, but later on it just gets even better and better, and it would improve. But as I was writing a script for this, honestly my mind will just keep changing whether it's a good game or a bad game. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't like it as well. I enjoy certain story element and missions, and would I play this game again? Probably not. I'd rather play the sequel or the one that came after that for the PlayStation 3. You know what I'm on about. Oh, what's this? A branching storyline where you never have to repeat the same mission twice. Well, they're all similar, so it doesn't matter. But with that said, I've been AnimersiveXP, and I've talked about pretty much whatever I want to talk about. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Hang! You got some serious moves!
Nice work, Nick.